What is up, YouTube? Jankyygo here. My name is Michael, and I bet you're wondering why we're back with the podcast. Stefan's here,
Always.
but I bet you're wondering why we're looking at the limited and forbidden list. Well, I've already gone over my thoughts on it. Stefan hasn't, but I just kind of wanted to go over something because the YCS Rayleigh or I don't know happened this weekend, and I just wanted to go over what the new changes did. So, the new changes that people were saying were important, and I agree to a certain extent, was Link Kuriboh getting hit, banned, Baron getting banned, Borreload Savage Dragon getting banned, and then Summon Limit just getting banned for the sake of the game, and then the rest of the unlimits and hits didn't really accomplish much in my honest opinion, except for Protos coming back, and Sword Soul kind of did something, but other than that, the deck didn't do anything. But other than that, nothing really else made a splash because I believe Thunder Dragon didn't. No deck playing Colossus really broke out of the top into the top 32 if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole event. I watched bits and pieces of it in the finals.
Mm.
And from what I saw, really didn't change much of this format, did it?
No, because I got the graph that Konami posted right here. Snake Eye, pure Snake Eye in the top 32 was 50%, with Snake Eye Fire King being 10%, or well, 9.4, Runic Stun being 9.4, Voiceless being 6.3, and Branded being also 6.3, and then the other 18.8% for the rest of it. And it's funny that in that other 18.8% was the Labyrinth deck that got second.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that one.
Oh, yeah, that was rough to watch. I'm not even a Labyrinth player, and I know that there were so many like small misplays, but
I
uh,
I know I was screaming the whole time,
mm,
use the back jack, and everyone else, why? And I'm like, because if the other player ashes it, cool, your other card resolves. If they don't, now you have another threat.
yeah, uh,
It, it,
but
hmm.
the fact that this list didn't hit pure Snake Eyes as much as everybody was hoping for kind of goes to show, um, that yeah, it didn't do anything. But that's just kind of rough, honestly. I think, yeah, but we can talk about another thing. Is I guess we'll talk about that's a little spoiler for later, but we'll go over to Master Duel. I haven't logged in today, so it's telling me about my new missions and my login bonus. But on the notifications, we got a new ban list for Master Duel. So limited, so super heavy samurai soul piercer. Semi limited is Snake Eye Ash, and wanted seeker of sinful spoils. So that's the search spell for Dia Bellstar. You have
Yeah,
any thoughts?
yeah, yeah.
Have you ever have you ran into Snake Eye that much on ladder? Because I know you're kind
I
of
have.
okay. As I say, because I know you're kind of lower ranked
I'm
at the
almost
moment.
I'm almost diamond 5 at this point.
Yeah,
So I've encountered the deck, and most of the time they scoop up against me. Like once you break their efficiency on there, they won't hang around very long. You
that's that's because you're in
it's
platinum still.
weird. Yeah, I know it's weird because a lot of the ones I face don't understand how to do the grind game. The
Mm,
ones that do understand the grind game, I usually lose against. I've lost against a few times where I've won it because I've out grinded.
mm.
But a lot of times, if you break their like efficiency or you break their board, they get just tilted and quit.
It's funny.
Um,
It's funny that Snake Eye Ash and Wanted are going to 2 on Master Duel. Because honestly, I was saying that for. I think I said it in my banlist video even, that I think that Snake Eye Ash and Wanted should have gone to 1 in the TCG. And it would have very limited the deck. It would have made the deck rely more on hard opening Diabellstar itself, and then as well as or Poplar to go into the thing, which Poplar is not as good as a starter as Ash is. But honestly, if you really want to hurt the deck and make them play other cards if they want to keep playing it without totally butchering it, probably limit Snake Eye Ash, Wanted, and Poplar. You hit those 3 cards, and I don't think the deck is really all that
Yeah, I've
bad to deal
dealt
with.
with the Ash once in my plane, and they just brought out a second copy and just kept going. And I was like,
Mm.
oh, this happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, because if you stop at search effect, they'll just and you like negate and destroy it or whatever. If they summon another one, they'll just use its second effect to summon out the big dragon. And that's why I was
Yeah, the
thinking.
second effect is definitely it.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking that you need semi limit doesn't hurt the deck as much as it needs to, and why you would need to like limit them instead. But yeah, I think while I don't agree with necessarily hitting Diabellstar, especially because they're not going to in TCG, and probably they might in Master Duel. But honestly, one of the criticisms I have for Master Duel is that they don't hit cards hard enough. But on the other hand, they are monthly ban list updates rather than every 4 months. So,
Yeah, their hits are they do things in steps so that they don't lose the player base.
mm,
And the monthly thing I think is fine because and plus people can get all of their gems back for those, so they don't want to overhit things, right?
yeah,
Because you do that and people get their gems back, they've lost their whole entire deck and they're gonna have to remake that whole entire deck, and the exchange rate of the limited and banned cards probably isn't going to give you a whole new deck. So they
no.
have to do it in steps and kind of slowly acclimate people to it.
Also, I just gotta say, I find it funny that they're getting for the dual pass this upcoming dual pass. It's Link Karibo. The little buddy you
Mm.
get is Link Karibo, and it's banned in the TCG.
Hey, they put out the totally awesome buddy, and then like what? Just straight up after that, basically banned him. Or I mean, they banned him basically after that. So
Yeah. Oh man. I guess we'll talk about
free the toad.
we'll talk about just yeah, that's I guess that's it for Master Duel. I don't really have too much of a tangent for Master Duel, other than I guess if you want the 6 million or 60 million downloads, uh, bundles and everything, you only got a day left. So, well, at the time once this video goes out, these will be gone. So hopefully you,
Oh yeah.
hopefully our watchers that wanted it got them. But uh, let's talk about something else. And we're kind of breezing through the topics I've laid out, but it is what it is. So, Battle of Legends Terminal Revenge has been delayed in Europe, and the product was changed from June 20th, 2024 to be confirmed.
What?
Uh-huh. There's been no explanation given as to for this delay. Uh
Is Europe just losing Yu-Gi-Oh altogether?
it's really sad because it kind of sounds like that. And I really hate the idea that it might be, because that I guess that does give credence to the whole Yu-Gi-Oh is dying fiasco that always says and everything. And there was stats that in Japan right now, Pokemon, well, when compared to last year, right, for player base, Yu-Gi-Oh didn't really grow that much. It grew by like 100 people or something, like 100 or 1,000 or something. It was very little, and then Pokemon surpassed it over in Japan. And I, it goes to show that we have like this new player problem, and it's not getting better. And I understand why, because our game is so complex at a base level that it's hard. And it worries me because it makes me think that maybe Yu-Gi-Oh is finally dying because it's going away in Europe entirely, pretty much. They're not getting Battles of Legend, and they're not gonna get, and they don't got YCSs anymore.
Yeah, that's awful. Like, cause that, I guess if it goes away, we'll just have to start playing Pokemon.
It's funny because I scrolled down to the comments and someone said, "I've been waiting ages for the ice barrier support. If this product becomes U.S. only, I'm switching to Pokemon straight away. If Konami won't support European players, then I won't support them." This person is very angry, and understandably, because if they are a European, because it makes they sound like they're a citizen over in Europe of some country over in Europe, and that must suck that your favorite deck that was supposed to get support in this is just not coming to your country. And man, I
That just, I still don't get why, like, because they're gonna make it where, oh, it's not legal here in Europe because that set's not out. Because that's
uh
what they always do over there for them. They've
yeah,
always gotten shafted by that, which I
yeah,
don't think is fair. Like,
yeah. It
because that's gonna create a whole separate format for them.
mm, well, that's what happened in like kind of in like 2015, right, with Cleefort. Over here, Cleefort had stopped topping as much, or it was still topping and everything because there wasn't a lot of outs to Cleefort Towers. But in Europe, that deck was just completely dominant because they didn't have the Diamond King Crab, which was an out to towers. Because it
They
so
also didn't get the lightning for the longest time too,
yeah.
and then they were the only ones that got the reprint.
Mm. And then we got the reprint eventually, but yeah.
I mean, but fair for them. At the time, I might have been salty that I couldn't get the lightning real easily, even though I owned it. But I was like, and now that I look back on it, it's like, nah, it's fair for them. They needed that.
I just think that something is going up with the with Konami's European branch that should be addressed. So Konami, you're probably not watching it, but if you are watching it, while I do live in America, I would like all the players in Europe to have equal chance at all these products and stuff like that. So you should find out what's going on over there. If it's a matter of European laws changing for whatever reason and making it harder on you, I sorry Europe, I don't got any solutions for you there. It's just, but I
Like, a
man,
lot of our good content creators come from Europe and that part of the world,
oh
so
yeah,
that's really disheartening.
uh, like Joshua Schmidt is like he comes from Europe and he's like one of the best players of Yu-Gi-Oh, and that just it
Yeah,
just sad it's sad to hear that there's products that they're not getting. Oh man, that's pretty disheartening. I don't got any much more to say on that topic. So I guess we could talk about I don't know some new cards. I had that are kind of off in the section here. Um, Choose the world's fate with Val Monica support coming in Infinite Forbidden. We'll talk about Infinite Forbidden in just a second. Well, we'll talk about it now, actually, instead of jumping into these cards. Infinite Forbidden is looking like a really good set. I'll say that. I haven't seen many of the cards. even if I don't think they're going to be a meta relevant set or meta relevant support, a lot of the cards are really cool and stuff like that. Like the Exodia support, Valmonica support, stuff like that. It's just a cool set.
Yeah.
Sengenjin support finally.
Yeah.
We'll find, but I'll read off these Valmonica cards. So Valor Valmonica Hallow Hymn is a link to water spellcaster effect with 3,000 attack, and its arrows are bottom left and bottom right. So the best link arrows, in my personal opinion, for a link 2, including it's two monsters as long as you include a Valmonica link monster, unaffected by non-Valmonica cards, while you have 6 or more resonance counters on cards you control. That's the deck's mechanic. For each level 4 Valmonica you control, this card gains 1 additional attack during each battle phase. Once per turn, when your opponent would special summon a monster or monsters quick effect, you can negate the summon. And if you do, destroy that monsters, and then remove 3 resonance counters from your field. I'll kind of talk about this one since I know Stefan doesn't probably. You've played against the deck a few times because I've used it on you, but like I'll talk about some of the difference or what this card does because you probably don't remember exactly what it does. So
No.
so Valmonica is a pendulum, kind of a pendulum deck. They have 3 monsters total. Um, one coming out, and I think Legacy of Destruction, and then they're getting like 2 support cards in there or something, like a spell or something like that, or in there maybe, or it came out in Phantom Nightmare and I just missed it. But there's that, and then they got the 2 pendulum scales. Pendulum scales both pretty much set the other one by discarding cards, and whether you take effect damage or gain life and everything, which all their cards you choose one or the other to do, and they have those different modes. You get resonance counters, and then if you have 3 resonance counters, you can use the Valmont. You can make their links and stuff like that. They're link ones. So, the whole idea is you need to get like 3 resonance counters on at least one of your things. So most of the time you usually choose one path and just either burn yourself 3 times in 3 different instances and then go that way, or you go the opposite and end up gaining like 15 life 3 times in the turn using their spells and traps, mainly their spells, using their spell cards and stuff like that. So that's kind of what the whole deck's kind of purpose is. It's really idea of the angel and devil on your shoulder. That's kind of what it's supposed to be representing. As for this card, I think this card is nuts. It's a finisher at the very least. It can attack up to, well, technically it can attack up to 6 times. It's not going to happen, but you could technically, in theory, do that. Because it got its own attack, and it gets an additional attack. Oh, 1 additional attack for each. Yeah, level 4 Valmonica. This card gains 1 additional attack during each battle phase. So yeah.
Oh,
Now,
that's good.
I know you're not a Valmonica expert or whatever, but at the very least, when you read a card that's unaffected by everything except for Valmonica cards, can attack multiple times and can negate stuff. At least that sounds nuts, like on paper.
That sounds really impressive on paper.
Yeah, like like I said, even if you don't know what that deck does, just the fact that it has those 3 really good effects, is pretty impressive. I don't know. I don't think this will make Valmonica meta but I do think this is definitely a step in the right direction, especially when we talk about their new continuous trap card called Valmonica Creator. Like that segue?
It's a good one.
It's a continuous trap card. Second and third effects, hard once per turn each. Valmonica link monsters you control gain 1200 attack while you have 6 or more resonance counters on your field. Whatever. If your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, you can immediately activate this effect and link summon one Valmonica monster. And then if this card is sent from your hand or field to the graveyard, you can place you can place resonant counters on one card in your pendulum zone that can place resonance counter that you can place resonance counters on until it has 3. So it can put up to 3 resonance counters on one of your scales, which is the ones that get the resonance counters for the card. So I'll talk about this one. This card is really good, but it's not good because you don't play it for its on-field effects. You play it for its graveyard effect of if it's sent from the hand or field to give you 3 resonance counters. That way you can just focus on one, just like the deck wants to do anyway. So when you discard another card to set your pendulum scales, so the one from the deck and the one and everything, because your pendulum scales, that's what they do. You discard a card, and then you activate the one in your hand and one from deck and everything of the opposite one. So each scale is a 1-card scale for this deck. So when you do that, right, you do that, and then in a new chain that's going to resolve, you're going to select one of them. In your 5-card hand, you used 2 cards and already have 3 resonance counters, and then your next 3, what you're going to do with those next 3 cards is you're pretty much just going to do the other mode that doesn't have the resonance counters and everything to build up resonance on that one. Pretty much. It's facilitating a play style that helps get out the link to much better. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say. And get your resonance counters up, because that was something the deck kind of struggled with.
That sounds like a lot of rocket science to me.
It's a lot. It's a
I'm
lot
sure
more
when
simple.
you inevitably face me,
Yeah.
I'm sure when you face me with the deck, I'm gonna sit there and go, "Okay, this is easy."
Yeah. There's certain decks that they sound complicated on paper, but then you look at it and you go, "Oh, okay." Like if I explain Sword Soul to you, right? Like, okay, so with Sword Soul, what you want to do is you want to normal summon this card called Moye, and with Moye, you're going to reveal either a worm or a Sword Soul card in your hand, and then after that, you're going to synchro summon into this level 8 called Shishao. And what Shishao does is, see, that sounds nuts too, right, when I explain it, but Sword Soul is very easy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was just thinking that's like the appropriate the thing, because on paper, Sword Soul seems kind of complicated when someone explains it to you, but then you see it in action, and you go, "Oh, this is caveman."
Yeah, you summon like 6 or 8, you summon like 8 times and end on like 2 synchros. Yeah. Um,
Oh,
it's pretty impressive. I think overall, though, um, overall, I think that the decks have potential just in general. Like Belmonica, not so much, but it is definitely stuff you need. But you know what? For the fun of it, on this podcast, I'm gonna open up one of the bundles that only have a day left. And for those of you who like packs openings, I will open the packs individually one at a time, because I know a lot of people like that stuff. Because if I just hit skip like I normally do, that's not content.
I can't give my opinion on the matter because it is an inappropriate joke.
I know you don't like people who take their time on it, but I got Bingo Machine Go. I got you.
Woo, blue eyes.
Yeah, I got the Dark Lord Nurse as well. We got Nurse Burn as well.
Dude, no. Nurse Burn's great because when you're playing a domain game,
Mm.
uh, you just flip up, bad reaction emoji, and suddenly you're the bad guy.
Hey, I got a chest fiend. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the Dark Bishop Archfiend. Let's go.
Speaking of domain, though,
Mm.
God,
How you got knocked out
getting wiped
immediately.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's because they watched that video and they were like, "No, I've seen what happened," and everyone's like, "Yeah, no, he just kind of snowballs. Like, I'm not that bad of a person. I was just flexing for the camera. I just wanted to see how I could go."
Mm.
I think it was. I think, as Jesse had put it to me, it was a very good example of going first and controlling everyone and just being able to get out of it after a while.
Yeah, it's pretty that was definitely a good game that shows like it doesn't matter if someone builds a board in domain and then blocks people out. As long as you can just survive, someone will eventually out it. So that that's pretty cool though. That's one of the good aspects of domain. But we'll talk about that later. Eventually we're gonna get Yu-Gi-Oh! Commander on the podcast and we can talk, and it's all gonna be about domain on that one.
Yeah.
So look forward to that episode. Right now the schedules haven't lined up for him and Stefan. So
I mean, even if it comes down to it and it's just you and him, I mean, that would still be the podcast.
yeah,
I don't have to be here per se all the time.
I don't know. I think that with like guests and stuff like that, if it was like if we had like a 3-person podcast constantly, having one person gone and then like a guest or whatever every now and then wouldn't be that bad. But also I pulled Luster Pendulum the Draco Slayer. I remember when this card was meta in Pepe and broke the whole format.
Yeah, it did. I was just thinking, I was like, yeah, that card broke a lot of things, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I see how this is. Just not pack not shining. Pack doesn't do anything. Gets multiple supers and ultra. Sprite starter. Nice.
Oh, yeah. You're on your way to build your Ghost Strict deck.
I could build Ghost Trick right now. I mean, I also got Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Playground staple. It just says your opponent can't attack, right? That's just what it says.
Even when that card came out, I was like, no, that's not how this works. And we were doing Playground Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, I know. Like, if a trap gets set, it can't be activated that turn unless it can be. No, it just blocks everything. No, it doesn't. That's not how it works. No.
uh,
Even Playground me was like, no, that's not how that works.
I pulled the Photon Jumper as one of our buddy Trevor's favorite deck set cards. The deck that needs a starter and is never gonna get one because Konami hates it. Alright. And my last pack of Destiny for our viewers. What the hell is this?
Ice deck. It's an eyes deck. It naturally has to be bad.
If you right.
If it's a wait, no, I can't say that because Snake Eyes is actually pretty good. Galaxy, nah. Blue, nah. Red, nah. Snick, yeah.
You can special summon this card from your hand by banishing one level or rank 8 monster from your graveyard. You can target one level 8 /rank 8 ritual, fusion, synchro, or XD monster in your graveyard. Shuffle the deck, then apply one of these effects. If it was a ritual fusion, draw a card. If it was XDs or a synchro, this card gains 1,000. Well, that's not bad for domain just because it's recycles stuff, but that's an interesting card. Interesting card.
Recycling's pretty good. Recycling's pretty good in domain.
Be jealous, everyone. I opened up 3 ultras and 8 supers. That's my luck here. Stefan got to deal with my luck constantly and how good it is. and how BS it is when we're playing, and I'll just draw the perfect out because I'm just that good.
It's worse whenever I'm watching like one of our videos and I
Yeah.
just see your hand. I'm like, yeah, I knew I had this, and then you just draw for turn and it's perfect. And I go, yeah, no, that's he did not have that until he drew that card.
Or or like how when you watched season 1 and how it was like, man, you had really good hands, and then when you ripped out cards out of my hand, you're like, oh, okay, I see. I
Yeah, hand attack is no fun.
no, I can't stand
Right on
hand
that.
attack. I I it's rich coming from me because I'm using it right, and I was using it uh in one of our videos. We're gonna get to it, so stay tuned to that. But in our videos where I use hand attack a lot on you and stuff, just because of the nature of DM, but like, man, those hand attack cards, I'm so glad that they're not back and they're just gone and everything.
Yeah, that'd be awful.
Oh, I think I just
Like,
did that whole thing where they didn't see what I pulled. Well, we'll do the other one. just for you viewers who like pack openings. This one's gonna be a lot worse though.
oh God.
Listen, a lot of people like pack openings. They get to live vicariously through bad spenders. Okay, I didn't spend any money on this. Those are just gems I've earned. But Red Eye Slash Dragon, dual link staple. But yeah, it's crazy. Our series, I honestly, I have a lot of fun with it, especially with our editor Josh editing season 2, and I look forward to the memes he throws in. Because when I played, because when we did the first one and it was my perspective constantly, I didn't really enjoy watching it back too much because I was like, yeah, this is just I had to watch all my misplays.
Now
Oh,
you get to watch mine misplays.
that's right, and I get to see memes. We in business. Also, I got a royal rare Master Flare Hyperion or Master Flare Hyperion. Yeah,
Oh hell yeah, build that deck.
I'm not gonna build freaking agents. Are you kidding me? That deck's awful. That deck has only been good like twice in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh.
But you're janky Yu-Gi-Oh.
True.
Oh wait, I am janky Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, I got the Earthbound Immortal that's has FTKs. The one that if it's destroyed, it
Oh,
burns.
that's pretty cool.
It burns for 800 for each
Oh,
destroyed
is that the
monster.
hummingbird one?
Yeah, it's the hummingbird.
GX, we're going to give you a hummingbird. What does it do? Gives you life. 5Ds or darker than that. Our hummingbird takes your life.
And it's based on the Azkalines, which is
Yeah,
really cool. Target one cop.
GX. How people see hummingbirds. 5Ds, what hummingbirds are really like.
Hummingbirds are really funny because like they flap their wings and everything. They they flap their wings so fast that they're able to hover, and that's really cool. But I've seen them go like as fast as they can and just run to windows.
Hmm. And they have their people. They really do have their people. If you are an unknown person, they'll
Mm.
fight you.
It's like crows, huh, Stefan?
Yeah, crows.
I love
The
crows.
local crow population is fine with me now.
Okay, I love crows. I love crows because they're one of the most intelligent animals on the planet. Uh,
I do not know what I did to offend them, and the only way that I think I could satisfy them is every time I would walk by, I would reach into my jacket and
mm,
pull out some cotton from it and leave it for them. And I genuinely think because that's the tore up jacket I have, which I don't wear anymore, that's what they were after. Is they saw the green and they're like, "Yeah, give me that cotton."
hmm
You know, I had to actually bribe them, and But the scary part is because there's two paths that I walk to get to my apartment, right?
yeah.
the crows like went the other path and were harassing me too, or giving like a lookout to each other, like and I'd be like, oh no. And like after I would start walking home, I would actually have to put my jacket in my backpack, or else they would come and harass me no matter which way I was going to my apartment, because they wanted that, fluff from inside my coat.
And
Yeah.
crows are pretty
I
cool
didn't
though.
swing I didn't swing at them. I didn't do anything like that because I know better. They're smart enough. They will remember any negative interactions with me. So I made sure I was friendly with them, because if they're harassing me, I can live with that. They're a bird.
They they remember faces too.
Yeah.
They remember faces, and their memory lasts up to 3 years. But if they're constantly messing with you every single day, they're gonna remember you pretty much for the rest of their life. But enough about crows. Uh, we'll have a video that's related to crow, foreshadowing sometime in the future. Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh god.
foreshadowing. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up here. We've been going for almost 40 minutes. It's good enough. We're kind of running out of things to talk about anyway, and we're just kind of going on tangents. So, I hope you enjoyed listening to the podcast. Stay tuned for our next episode in 2 weeks, where we'll probably talk about our regional experience, because there's back-to-back regionals for us. Uh, but
Yeah, I remember that.
if it is your birthday today, happy birthday. Hey, if you like this sort of video, liking, commenting, subscribing, recommending this to your friends, I guess, while they're walking on their way to work or something, always greatly appreciated and helps us out. And of course, and as always, have a wonderful day.